Welcome to the weekend wrap-up powered by BetVictor. I'm Terry Lewis on the Football Terrace, and look at this beautiful panel that we've got tonight for the Chelsea, United, a little bit of Liverpool. No Man City, they're very hard to come by across social media. How are you all doing? We all good? We all good?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm good.
I know. It's good. We all had good weekends. Our clubs all had good weekends, to be fair. So it's celebration time for us. Neats, welcome back. It's great to have you back on the show. And all that jazz. Sonny as well, the most famous Liverpool fan on the internet in the last week or so, bruv. Killing it.
Yeah. About the Chelsea thing, I might as well just say it now. About the whole thing that Spurs are beating Chelsea. I got that wrong. But long term, my point still stands. So,
yeah, you took a big L there. You did take a big L there, to be fair.
I won a lot of people some money, so I don't mind.
You did. You won me some money, bruv. You did, because we obviously took you on the BetVictor show last week. We put the bet on, and I will actually show people this for settled bets. We put your score prediction down of 3-0, and it came in. 3-0 came in. I'm actually going to share it on the screen now, actually, so people can see. If you do put these bets on, we don't talk to you guys about doing them, and then not do them ourselves. As you can see there, it was put on 15-1. We stuck a couple of quid on it. £32 return in the bank account. Happy days.
Yo, I saw one brother on the team get 10 grand from betting on like League 2 or League 1 football, bro. Man cashed out real quick. I was just like, bloody hell, I might have to do this gambling thing, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well, listen, a nice responsible flutter, of course, with our partners BetVictor whenever you can. Give it a go. It makes things a little more interesting at times. But, as I say, it was a good weekend for our football clubs, no doubt about it whatsoever. And I want to start with Chelsea, really. I think we've got to start with Chelsea because of how good they were. But Jester here, with the super chat first, says fraud of the week has to go to Sonny. First horrible take, and then a no-show yesterday afternoon. Man should learn some balls before he speaks.
I couldn't make it yesterday, honestly. I couldn't make it.
He was happy Origi didn't play, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of them ones, Sonny. When you've got a big mouth, do you know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to back it up. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like I said, the point, I'll be proven right at some point. Just Spurs couldn't do the job.
Hang on, that don't count. Like, it's I can predict now that one day Chelsea won't be as good as they are now. At some point, that will come true.
I'm saying that's going to be one day. I'm saying that's this season. Chelsea aren't as good as they think they are.
Wait, sorry. How long have I been gone? What's been going on? What do you mean Chelsea aren't as good as they think they are?
You'll find out. You'll find out.
Yeah, but Sonny. The question is, how many games is this like showing that you're right? Because if they have one game and they lose,
okay, let's start with it. They can't. Guess who they play next weekend? Man City. They're done. They're done.
We've beaten them. We've beaten them twice. Three times in
even if we do lose to Man City, Man City, what does that mean? We're done. We lost to.
That means your momentum's gone, and that's where my point starts.
Okay. Sonny. One thing I'm going to tell you right now: we're not Liverpool. This happened to Liverpool last season. We're not you. We are different. Yeah, don't be coming up in here saying Chelsea aren't as good as they think they are. We are as good as we think that we are, and you're going to be proven wrong. The only person you're going to prove wrong is yourself, my guy. Don't embarrass me.
No. This never happened to Liverpool last season. Liverpool's players ended up on hospital bed last season. That was nothing to do with us.
Is that not losing momentum?
That's us losing players.
Is that not losing momentum? Because the momentum wasn't the same.
Chelsea injuries or not, they're gonna go downhill. Injuries or not.
If some of our starting 11 get injured, we've got the backup. You guys didn't have the backup last season.
You think you have the backup. This is my point. Hudson-Odoi ain't there. Don't turn up. Pulisic don't turn up.
The thing is,
they're big names, but they're dead players.
Ziyech won the Champions League. They did.
They're dead players. They're dead players. Chelsea fans say themselves.
Let me finish. They all played pivotal parts in winning the Champions League. Every single one of them. So you can't be sitting here telling me we ain't got the players for it. We do. You need to look at your team and work on your team development. Yeah.
We're joint off the league with you. So if you're good,
for now,
we'll just be top by ourselves soon.
For now.
Well, that I'm getting a bit of echo from someone. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I hear it.
Might be Anita actually there. Sorry, I'm not too sorry. Just put you on mute there. That is an interesting start to the show. We are moving on to Chelsea and how good they are at the minute. But just to give everyone a view of what's coming up today, we're talking about Chelsea. How good are they? How far can they go? Could they even go unbeaten this season? We want to know where Chelsea stack up right now in your estimations. We're looking at the title race in general. We're going to touch on the goal scorers this weekend. Of course, Salah and Mane scoring again. Cristiano Ronaldo has been excellent this season. Not only has he been the highest goal scorer since he's arrived, no one's created more big chances than him in the Premier League this season. So he looks like he's firing. We are going to look ahead of the battle of the frauds, as we're calling it, moving into the weekend with the North London derby on its way. Lots to go through. But from you, first of all, smash that like button for us. First topic, as I say, is going to be Chelsea and how good are they? So Chelsea Football Club has started brilliantly this year. We know what Sonny thinks. We will touch with Sonny in a minute, but we'll look at this. I want to go to Anita first on this. Firstly, how impressed are you with your start to this season? And where do you rank Chelsea in terms of title contention right now? First, second, third, fourth, and how well do you think you could do this season? Because I've read that today you've actually had more clean sheets than goals conceded since Thomas Tuchel's arrived. Things just must feel amazing right now at Stamford Bridge.
Sorry, am I still getting an echo? Am I okay?
Only, but I think that's fine.
That's fine. Okay, yeah. So this season has actually been quite nice to see, right? Because I feel like we started off really well against Crystal Palace. And then we got to, who did we play after? We got to Liverpool, right? And then we dropped off in momentum a bit purely because of the red card. And it was kind of nice to see that we could still keep a point with Liverpool despite getting that red card. So I called it a champion's performance. And going forward, we played Aston Villa and we didn't play too well. And it was one of those ones where I thought, okay, what are we going to salvage from this? And all of a sudden, we got 3 goals out of the match, you know? And even though we got the 3 goals, even though Lukaku got his brace, I still looked at it as, we didn't play too well, but we still got the win. Another champions win. Then it came to Stamford Bridge on the Tuesday. And again, we didn't play too well. I thought that match was actually pretty boring. And I'm kind of happy I didn't go to Stamford Bridge. I was a bit envious to begin with, but then I was like, okay, I'm kind of happy I didn't go in the end. But we still managed to get the win. And again, Romelu Lukaku, he came through for us. So at the moment, I'm sitting cute because yesterday, again, first half, we didn't play too well. Second half, we came guns blazing. And that's what happens when Chelsea turns up. We dropped the momentum already, Sonny, and then we picked it back up and we beat Spurs 3-0 yesterday. And that's the type of champions win. I'm not finished. That's the type of champions wins that Chelsea are going to need in order to win the Premier League this season. And I've said it before on this show. I genuinely think Chelsea is winning the Premier League this season. And I'm not going to backtrack on it. I do think we're winning the Premier League. And if we don't, we don't. But I stand by our boys. We have a good enough squad, not just our first 11. We have a good enough squad to win the Premier League. So I don't see any reason as to why we won't win the Premier League, especially over Liverpool. Funny's there scuffing.
Listen, I actually think any Chelsea... You know, you got to throw it in there. I think if any Chelsea fan right now doesn't even... Like, we've had it with David and Gemma on the show where they've kind of been like, oh, I don't even know if I want to say we're in proper title contention yet. I think it's a madness not to think it. I think you're absolutely right. There's a lot of talk at the minute, though, about Chelsea maybe going unbeatable. If you look at some of the odds we've got below, you know, Chelsea to gain over 95 points this year, Chelsea to do a Premier League, Champions League, double, trebles. I'm looking at this Chelsea team now, and I see a team that could achieve something beyond winning a Premier League title. I think you could achieve something that's, you know, better than what, you know, Liverpool did a couple of seasons ago where they won just a Premier League by itself. I think you could sort of do some sort of legacy season. How about yourself, Daniel? Like, where do you currently rank this Chelsea team, and how far do you think they could go this season beyond just winning a Premier League, which I know you tip them for?
Yeah, beyond winning the Premier League is winning multiple trophies. It's not. We're not doing no unbeaten. That's never happening again. Like, there's just too many competitions. There's too much competition to do that, and it just isn't. It's not plausible. Like, we've seen so many teams go close. I remember Liverpool, when everyone was talking about Liverpool, they made it to the new year, which was great. But then we saw the capitulation there in terms of having that pressure on them to go unbeaten. I remember when Mourinho came the second time, and everyone thought Chelsea could go unbeaten that season. And then I think towards the end, at Christmas, we lost to Newcastle, and then it just ended everything there. So like going unbeaten, because it literally takes one freak result. I mean, I remember when Mourinho was first there. I mean, we only lost one game in his first Premier League title, and that was a 1-0 loss to Man City where they scored a pen at Stamford Bridge. So it's like it takes one free game, and it will be the game you least expect. So it's just not going to happen. But in terms of the team, bro, we're looking so solid. And something Anita said, which was so interesting, is she spoke about the games that we played recently. I think there's a little storyline there. We're answering a lot of questions that champions will have to answer in terms of not playing well, but still being able to score multiple goals. I think yesterday was a great indication of the fact that I think we were even under the cosh a bit in the first half against Tottenham. But in the second half, the quality showed we were so much better. We completely blitzed them in that second half. The football was great, entertaining. And it's so great. You know, Chelsea are back on top when you see people hating on us. When people hate on Chelsea and start, you don't think the second half was entertaining? If you don't, then fair enough, innit? Fair enough, innit? I guess you like Ollie Ball anyway, so it's calm. But
so we're talking about Chelsea, unbeaten,
talk about
95
Chelsea,
points.
Let me
It's
talk
not
about
about
Chelsea.
Ollie Ball. It's
Let me
about
talk
comparing
about
to the
Chelsea
other. Huh?
Let me talk about Chelsea then.
No, but I'm saying don't try to drop Ollie Ball into it because
I'm not
I didn't say
dropping
Ollie's
Ollie Ball.
going to get 95 points. I didn't say Ollie's going to get 95 points. Compared to the other champions who have played exciting football.
You said it wasn't entertaining.
Yeah, what's that up to you, Ollie Ball? Don't not to
Yeah,
Ollie Ball.
because
There's plenty of football that we've seen before.
clearly your team plays better football than us. If our second half against Tottenham
So
wasn't
where the barrier?
both of
Where
you.
the measuring stick now?
This point is muted.
Cool. Let's get to the point now, Dan.
Yeah.
What's the special achievement going to be? What do you think?
Is I believe Chelsea Football Club this season could win the Premier League and Champions League in the same season.
Wow. I mean, that is I see you shaking your head there, Sonny. Why do you?
Why are you shaking my head?
Why?
Well, first of all, a Champions League, I'll give it to them. That's probably possible. But no way are Chelsea doing it in a 38-game season. They don't have the creativity. Look at their players. I heard Anita saying earlier, squad depth, so much squad depth, stuff like that. Do you really trust the likes of Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech, whoever else? Mason Mount this season has proven that he looks like a one-season wonder. Do they actually have the squad depth, or do they just have player names to come in? But those player names aren't going to do a job. So for me, a 38-game season as well. Look, we're 4 games in. They've had a good start. I hate this thing where we said that they're going to go invincible. They've not even won the league yet with this team. Like, they need to do that first before we have any other discussion.
You man were talking about invincibles when you man didn't even win the league either, surely.
No,
Don't mind them.
We were basically in, I'd say, February at that point. We were top
No,
of the
you
league.
weren't. No, you
We
weren't.
were. Yes, we were. Yes, we were.
There were claims of invincibles from December, bro, so don't try it.
Well, December we were top of the league and about 20 games in. Maybe that'd be better for Chelsea to do it then than now.
What I would say, Sonny, is this. When it comes to Chelsea, I'll be really honest. I think whether you find their football entertaining or not is almost irrelevant, because football is so subjective when it comes to what's entertaining. You know, winning is entertaining. Like, it's point blank. That's the most important thing. It's what sport is about. It's about winning. People say it's entertainment. No, that's what I go to the cinema for. That's what I go to watch musical theatre. I don't watch musical theatre, but you know what I mean? It's what I go to. I do. I love it. That's what you do. That's what I watch EastEnders for, to be entertained. I watch a good documentary like EastEnders. Football is about winning at this end of the spectrum. To deny that, look, will Chelsea go unbeaten? It's going to be so hard, but I think they're going to achieve something. They're 33-1 to do a Premier League and Champions League double. KJ, can Chelsea achieve something could they become only the second team in Premier League history to pull off that feat?
No, I don't think they're gonna do the Premier League Champions League double. I just don't. Not because I don't think they're a good enough team, but I think their consistency in the English league, in the EPL, solidified. I think that's why they're going to win the league. With the UCL, we've already seen that anything can happen. As much as we didn't believe Chelsea could win the Champions League, they won the Champions League. So who says that a team that we don't expect goes on to win it? I think that tournament throws up so many different things that I don't know. Like, you can catch Chelsea on a bad day and beat them in the cup competition, which I think is fair enough. But I do think they could be doing a Premier League and a FA Cup, or a Premier League and a Carabao Cup. That's doable. that's doable. But I think the European title as well, so difficult. There's a reason why only a few teams have ever done it in the history of the Champions League, and only one team has done it twice. just gonna put it out there, twice in the history of English football.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very, very difficult one to achieve. We've got some super chats here I've got to do. First one is from CFC Felix, who says, Sonny, explain your quote. Tuchel walked into a mansion. Chelsea, for me, are one of the most overrated squads. None of the defense are big names. Tuchel's helping them overperform. Contradiction much.
I can explain that. When I said about the Tuchel walking into a mansion, Klopp walking into a council house, that was just for that comparison. There was probably about 5 mansions in the team while Klopp. There was probably about 5 mansions in the Premier League when Klopp came to the league. Like, that's not saying that they're the best team in the league by calling them a mansion. There's probably about 5 of them in the same league. Klopp just walked into a very bad team.
Name the 5.
Well, at the time Klopp walked in, Man City were going into one. Oh wait, hang on. This when Tuchel came in or Klopp came in? There's two different options here. There's two different options here.
So, Sonny, I don't think we've got time for you to think of this on the spot, to be fair. So what I'm going to say to you is this. I think you can say that Tuchel walked into a really good squad. You can't say it's an overrated squad because they're not very good. And he walked into a mansion at the same time. You've gone, I mean, that's a double negative.
People who say they don't get the point are lying to themselves. Like, you understand what I'm coming from when I compare what Klopp walked into compared to what Tuchel walked in. I'm not saying that Tuchel walked into the best team in the league because that's why I called them overrated. Just that much better than what Klopp walked into.
I understand.
I
actually get it.
You're gone, Nitz.
No, I just wanted to let Sonny know. I actually get what he's saying because there are discrepancies or disparities when you look at what Klopp walked into and what Tuchel walked into. And I'll never actually, put Klopp down for coming into a Liverpool side that was not terrible, but it wasn't great at that time. But Chelsea's side, they were also struggling as well. So we shouldn't kind of call our side a mansion as per se, because we were struggling just as much as other teams were struggling to get into that top 4 as well. And we even struggled up until the last minute last season. So I wouldn't necessarily call it a mansion, but I understand your point.
Joe, it's interesting when you're at Chelsea's and Cities, like, people always like to put down the achievements because there's money, but there's also additional pressure. Like, Jurgen Klopp's under very little pressure at Liverpool because you guys pretend that he hasn't spent any money. You ignore the 500 odd million pounds. You pretend that net spend is real. Net spend is not real. I even got into arguments on the timeline yesterday morning. People are like, how dare you deny that net spend is real? I said, I'm not denying it's real. The financial experts that dictate the processes and practices at football clubs have said publicly on my channel, in The Guardian, on Sky, that it's not real. Yeah, but
that's
Sky,
not the point.
Of course it's the point.
You compare what he does to other top teams. You don't look at the numbers or whatever money he spent individually. Compare it to the people he's competing with, and then you see the gap.
You spent £500 million on players and increased your wage bill massively. Now, have City and Chelsea spent more? Yes. But you're talking marginal differences between all of these clubs and their spending. You're not talking about Chelsea spending versus Liverpool spending, but the disparity is the same between Chelsea and Brighton. That's where I think you go wrong there. But we've got some super chats to do here. Joshua says, first of all, Timmy Turner can't even beat Ollie Ball, and you've got your manager having nightmares, is what Joshua Jack says. Gunnar King says Gunnar King is back. He wants the Chelsea lot to know you ain't got that invincible swagger. Come on, you gooners. That's gooners sending shots. I like to see it, to be honest with you. Comment here says Sonny calling Mount a one-season wonder 5 games into the season after the guy got a goal and assist in the quarterfinals and final of the Champions League at 22.
I'm just using everyone's context. People done it to Salah.
Look up, reactionary. Falling asleep listening to Sonny's backtracking here. He's got TB says... And language of the slave says Milner, Origi, Shaqiri, Gomez, behave, Sonny. Liverpool won 1 league in 30 years. Calm down. Chelsea squad pisses all over Liverpool's. Fact. Viewers,
we haven't got Shaqiri anymore.
Viewers, let us know what you think and let us know what you feel. I'm going to back Danny on this, though. I'm backing Danny here, right? And I'm going to look at these odds here. I'm going to stick a cheeky little bet here with Bet Victor today. Here at 33-1, Premier League and Champions League double. Odds are 33-1. I'm not going to put a big bet on this. I'm going to put a £2.50 little stake down. That's what I'm putting on this one here. That would give me an £85 return. You can do that now. If you're a Chelsea fan and you're backing your football club, get yourself signed up to BetVictor now. The link to sign up is attached to our live comment section and in the description below. Get yourself an account set up. If you bet up to £5, you get a £30 free bet on top. If you sign up now as a brand new customer, if you're a reoccurring customer because you've already signed up, there's lots of things on the, you'll see on the side here, they've got the BV Loyalty Club. Go check that out for existing customers as well. Lots of great offers. But I'm placing that bet now, as you can see. If you're a Chelsea fan, you want to put your money where your mouth is. Of course, do that responsibly. You can go and do that right now on BetVictor. All the links, as I say, are below and in the live comment sections. But Chelsea do very much look good. Next up on the show, we're talking Man United. Ronaldo scored again. Are they title contenders or title pretenders? Smash the like and share button. Let's go. So, Sonny, I'm going to come to you straight away on this. Obviously, you had a go at Chelsea again. Manchester United, though, sitting up there on 13 points. Late screamer from Jesse Lingard, another goal from Cristiano Ronaldo. When you look at Manchester United, are you starting to see them as contenders? I mean, you like a lot of people kind of wrote them off a few weeks ago, but the resilience is there. 6 points better off than this time last season. Best start under Ollie's leadership so far. Still Rashford and Cavani to return from injury. What's your take on Man United?
No, at the start of the season, I said that I thought they were favourites or should be favourites for like everyone because the squad that they went into the season with. I knew they wouldn't win it, but I just wanted to say they were favourites so I could see them kind of fall away in time due. Now I can see why Man United won't win the league. Like if you look at them, the way they play, the way that they're just about getting over the line, and you can say all stuff like Alex Ferguson done it when he won the league. This ain't Alex Ferguson though, is it? This is Solskjaer. You can tell when a team isn't going to win the league when you're like 5 games in and it's one of the competitors or meant to be. Man United are one of them, and Man United, no way do they go all the way. Ronaldo's obviously doing bits. He's a goal scorer, but how long is it really going to last for with his goals really get them out of where they need to be? Because their defence has shown nowhere near good enough. Maguire's still the same old Maguire from last season. Varane ain't impressed me yet either. Wan-Bissaka, he got a red card the other day. Luke Shaw's doing all right. De Gea doing all right, save penalty, but you can tell as a whole, Man United, no way do they win the league this season. They haven't got the 38 game in them to do it.
I don't necessarily disagree.
You're just saying a lot of stuff.
You're saying
a lot of stuff. United.
No, you're saying a lot of stuff that have, like you say, Maguire's same old Maguire from last season. No, as a matter of fact, I think Maguire was better at the back end of the second half of last season than he is at the moment. I think him and a number of English players, including Luke Shaw, have had a very slow start to the season. So I'm looking at you like, are you actually watching Maguire now, or did you actually watch him last season to make that statement? To say Varane hasn't impressed you now, I don't know what exactly is what you're actually looking for. Do you like not wanting to get dribbled past like Van Dijk didn't for how long?
Well, people held him to Van Dijk standards, so yeah.
No, I'm asking if that's what you're asking him to do. But I'll give one example. In terms of talking about Premier League, the 2 goals we conceded since Varane's been here. One was obviously the deflected goal yesterday. And then we had that counter-attack from Newcastle. We haven't conceded any set pieces, which was a big deficiency in our defense last year. And as a whole, including David De Gea, our defense is better 5 games in than we were last year. Now, I'm not saying, yes, we are going to win the Premier League. I never did. But the reasons that you're giving in don't stack up. So I just feel like you need to come with something better. Now, the whole Cristiano Ronaldo thing, the way we're playing, it's not sustainable. Is Cristiano going to be able to keep bailing us out? But what do you mean bailing us out? Lingard scored a winner yesterday. David De Gea saved the penalty. We scored 4 against Newcastle. Ronaldo got 2. I'm not sure the bailing out part that you're talking about. He's going to be our top goal scorer because he's a striker. But doesn't mean every time your striker wins you the game, you've been bailed out? Or is it a case that we had 10 shots on target and maybe one of them need to go in at some point? Like Ronaldo's going to score goals. Man United are going to win matches. And I believe we're going to be in the title race.
It's about your other players not being as consistent with the Ronaldo thing. Ronaldo's going to take a bit away from Bruno's game and what he done for you last season being that one guy thing.
Well, hang on a minute. I can't allow a statement like that just to be said. Where has this come from? Why are Man United the only team, but when they sign a world-class player and then they sign another world-class player, people make it out like it's going to make our team regress or stand still. If anybody else, if you sign, hang on, let me finish talking. If you sign a world-class striker, you wouldn't say, I don't want a world-class striker, because it might mean Mo Salah might score less goals. Like, is it going to be? That doesn't make any sense.
Bruno's
No team
selfish.
do that.
Ronaldo's selfish. It's not about two. It's not.
Hang
about
on a minute. If
striker and
Ronaldo's
midfielder.
selfish,
Bruno
hang on a
plays
minute.
like
Hang on a
shadow
minute. Hang on a
striker.
minute. Just stop
No, we
talking.
don't.
You got to stop talking a minute. Cristiano Ronaldo has produced more shots than any other Premier League player since he returned, as well as more from inside the box than anybody else, and more shots on target 7 than anybody else. He's also had more touches inside the opponent's box and has created the most big chances in the Premier League. So how is he creating the most chances out of any other player in the Prem since he arrived if he's selfish? And I'm talking big chances here as well, not a 2-yard pass that someone's had a 30-yard shot from. I'm talking big chances created. No one else in the Prem has done more than Ronaldo. I'll tell you what you're doing. I'll tell you what you're doing. I'm not doing that. My question's rhetorical, mate, because you're going to sit down like a good boy and listen now. At the end of the day,
You gotta let me answer it then.
No, I'm not letting you answer. It's called rhetorical.
Oh my God.
Rhetorical.
You know
Google it,
right
Sonny. Google the word rhetorical. At the end of the day,
English, I know.
at the end of the day, people have like slagged off the Ronaldo signing since day one. He's washed. He's too slow. He won't do it in the Prem. 3 games, 4 goals. The geezer is absolute dynamite. In fairness, if it wasn't for Fabianski yesterday pulling off a couple of really good saves, he could have had a hat trick yesterday. He's created chances for us. Bruno Fernandes has 4 goals so far this season. And I'm not being funny. Like, he should have had an assist yesterday, but the first shot got saved and the one went in. Bruno is producing at the same rate. His chances per game hasn't decreased at all. He's got 4 goals so far in the Premier League. No central midfielder has scored more open goal plays than Bruno in European football so far this season. So answer me this question. Based on all the facts I've just given you, how was Ronaldo arriving to stop Bruno from producing? Man United have had their best start to a league campaign in over 3 years. We're 6 points better off than last year. We're tracking to just under 100 goals in the Premier League, which would be our best return in nearly 20 years in the Premier League. Give me your thoughts, mate. Go on.
Same reason why Chelsea are top of the league. We're 5 games in.
But you're judging us on 5 games, and I'm giving you the facts. It doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm giving you my prediction.
Based on the 5 games, you're saying what you've seen, X, Y, Z.
Yeah, but I can't just say the 5 games. I'm giving it what I think they'll do after the 5 games as well.
Yeah, so Sonny, if I say after the 5 games, Liverpool are going to capitulate, they're going to lose all their players again through injury, and that means you're not going to win the league. You're not just going to sit there and be like, "Oh yeah, that's your prediction," when there's no facts to base your prediction. But there's no facts to base that prediction off. So from like last season.
There's not many facts you can put off a prediction anyway. That's just my prediction. I think that's going to happen. Bruno's game isn't going to be up to stat of what it was statistically last season. Not that he's going to get worse, but because it's only going to make Man United a little bit better. It's not going to make them to the next level.
Can I ask a genuine question to the United fans, please? In terms of your midfielders, Nemanja Matic has proven to be someone that could be very, very important going forward. And a bit like how Thiago Silva to Chelsea, they're old players, but they're very, very pivotal to the structure of the team and whatnot. But Matic has proven, especially in the last couple of seasons, that a bit of wear and tear and he can lose form. I think the McTominay and Fred thing is increasingly becoming a problem for you lot in the big games in terms of keeping the ball and that. So what do you think going forward Ollie's going to do? Because again, McTominay just came back from surgery and I see him straight in the lineup and I think that's like, rah, he's a big player for Ollie then, do you know what I mean? So what do you lot think about that?
Go on, Lee.
It's actually a tough one when you say the big games, because obviously we haven't played in those big 6 games so far. And I'm expecting a McFred double pivot against the big 6 games, because Ollie would cede possession and play on the counter, which has been successful against the big 6. It's the games that we played. Basically, everyone else who we're supposed to take the initiative, we're going to be on the front foot. They're going to be setting out deep, where you need the Matiches and all the creativity. Basically, you're going to be the comfortability on the ball. And you're right, the double pivot again proved yesterday that it's a problem. And when Matic came on, both against young boys actually, and against West Ham, that's when we were best, most comfortable. We looked the best in terms of our passing in the midfield. I put a tweet out earlier today saying that Ollie has to wrap Matic in cotton wool. We have to take great care of him, because he's the only one who can take the ball off the back four and drive forward and make that pass like the one that he made to Lingard, for example, and just bring a sense of calm into that midfield. Fred cannot do that. McTominay can't do it, even though he's better than Fred. His role really is to drive forward as a box-to-box. So we're going to have to pick and choose Matic's games. But I want to see him playing, let's say, out of 30 games in the Premier League, 38 games, sorry, he has to be starting at least 20 if we're going to have a genuine chance. If he starts less than 20 games in the Premier League, then I can't see how we're going to pick up enough points against the smaller teams to actually challenge for the title. So yeah, partly to say our league season rests on Matic is a bit funny when you consider all the other quality players I have, but the midfield is so important.
Yeah, absolute great point there. And KJ, from your point of view, I know that we spoke about this yesterday. I know you're not hugely trusting in Ollie being able to sort of deliver things forward. But in terms of Man United this season, like in terms of what do you think they're going to achieve? What do you think is on the cards for them?
So one of those ones where if I just look at the squad and eliminate Ollie, as much as I like him, I want him to do well. This squad could go on to do wonderful, magical things. Like it could do a domestic double. Like it could win an FA Cup and Carling Cup. It could win a Premier League and an FA Cup. It could do that. But then you think about Ollie being there, and then the chances of that diminishes. And you can say, "Oh, that's a bit harsh," but look what he's done. But let's be honest. Look at what he's done. He has failed at the final hurdle every time he gets there. Sometimes not even at the final hurdle. He just fails at a hurdle. And do I believe he can change that this season? From what I'm seeing, no, because again, mistakes that have been coming time and time again have been showing up. Now, the midfield situation is a difficult one for any manager at Manchester United was in there because of the quality that we've got. I need to say in our season rests on Matic and stuff like that. I don't think so because I see him in the same as McTominay, Fred. All three of them have deficiencies that are crucial for us losing games. Whether it's Fred's inability to play his back to goal and pass, if it's McTominay's inability to pass a ball forward and retain the ball, and if it's Match's inability to actually keep up with the pace of the game, take too many touches at times, and then get his pocket picked. All three of them have crucial holes in their game that right now for Man United, that it's not good enough to win a league. They have strengths, but they also have glaring weaknesses. Ollie, as a manager, how can I trust him to fix that when the last few seasons he's shown that he can do a job to a certain level? I don't think he can push us on to win a Premier League. I hope he does. Like I really do. I hope he goes and does that. I hope everyone else around us is crap and we're the crap that shines above the rest. You know what I'm saying? That's what I hope. But the likelihood of that happening is very low. I think Man United this season, we can win an FA Cup. We can win a Carabao Cup. Maybe push somehow for the league, like go the last few games. But overall, the big trophies, I don't think is possible.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would agree with you on that in relation to Man United. I mean, some of the odds we've got below, of course, brought to us by Bet Victor, like 80 plus points at 10-3. I mean, we've not got more than 81 points since Fergie retired, as an example. So if you're a betting man or woman, that's not a bad bet because I think we might improve on last year under Ollie.
We have to get over 80 points. We got 74 last year, and we bought Varane, Sancho.
Exactly. And by the way, if the rest of the season is the same as last year, we'll pretty much do that because we're already 6 points better off than we were. So we have started better. You know, we are in a much better place. And although yesterday wasn't vintage, yesterday was a kind of game that we've lost so many times under Ollie. You know, the Wolves game we've lost so many times. So there are things to be positive about, but I suppose it's that trust, isn't it? Believing in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer from being able to push you forward. I've got some super chats that I don't want to miss. The first one, I can't pull it on the screen because we were talking when it came out and I didn't see it. It was from Neil O'Callaghan. Thank you for the €20 donation. It means a great deal to the Terrace. It says, hi all, haven't left a comment in a while. United are looking good. They have the experience in Ronaldo to help them to another level, but Ole is going to get them. But is Ole is not going to get them over the line. Chelsea are the favourites at the moment. We've got a comment here from CFC Florida that says, keep the blue flag flying higher. I now know what that abbreviation means. The other day I saw it, and honestly, I thought it was my dyslexic brain. I was like, no, I'm not. I don't know what he's trying to say here. I thought it was Russian as well. Is that a Russian word? I don't know. Looking forward to heist Sonny. What does that mean? Sorry.
Hey.
Looking forward I think it's a typo.
Yeah, it's typo.
Here. Sonny admit he's ill in May when... Oh, in May when Chelsea win the league, 15 plus points above Grilled Chicken FC as your squad depth catches up again. You know what? That might even be worth looking at what the odds on that. I might have actually have a look at the odds in a minute on what it is for Chelsea to finish above Liverpool. I'd be really intrigued to see what that is.
You're going to waste your money. Go ahead.
Baz says, genuine question. What does CR7 offer other than goals? His hold-up play and link-up play isn't great. And if he doesn't score, I'm not sure he does much compared to elite nines like Lukaku. I want to put this question. Sorry, I want to put this question to it.
You are a disgrace, and your team should be relegated.
I want to put that. I want to put that question to Anita. What are you saying, Anita? Do you agree with Baz 10's assertion here that Ronaldo has nothing else other than goals?
Yo, listen, like, I'm not even gonna sit here and stunt. Like, you guys know me. If I want to stunt, I can stunt. But Baz, you're off pace here. Still, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, you watched the match on the weekend, right? Ronaldo was everywhere on that pitch. If we actually watch Ronaldo when he's not in the final third, my man is tracking back. This 37-year-old was running back faster than Luke Shaw at one point, and I was looking at him like, "Yo, this guy hasn't aged." You remember he hasn't aged one bit. He looks like he's 25. This guy can probably go till he's 50. He offers more than just goals. And do you know what? A lot of people laugh at me for this, but I always talk about energy. If you need a player who's going to bring you that energy, who's going to gas you up, hype you up on the pitch, and kind of make you want to do better, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. So even if he's only providing goals, in your opinion, you can't deny that he's not, amping up the players to want to do better and motivate them to get forward, motivate them to be on top of their tackles, So he does provide more than just scoring goals.
He was pushing Lingard to celebrate, bro. Do you see him? Bruno was like, shove my man. It's like, listen.
He was like, who cares if you played for West Ham?
You were here for like a week, bro. You were here for like a week, basically. What are you doing?
No, I think
it's like, sorry, have you ever had one of them friends who's gone on holiday for 2 weeks and then they try, like, you hear them tell a story, it goes, "Oh yeah, I moved to Spain once." No, you went on holiday for 3 weeks. What are you talking about? You moved there. That was like Lingard. Like, bro, what are you saying? You were never a West Ham player, really. Sorry, Danny, what are you saying, bro?
No, I was just saying, basically, fam, like, even with Ronaldo, I think that's what the problem with people who are, like, analysing and comparing nines, the mistake they're making is comparing every nine to each player. Like, Ronaldo personally isn't needed to do like hold up and stuff like that. Like, it might not, it's just because he's not backing into a player and asking to receive it on the turn, that doesn't mean he's not offering. There was a phase of play which I thought was the best indication of how good Ronaldo was. Like, it was the timing of the run. Like, you could literally see he was jogging and then he knew when to like accelerate, like at the right time to catch the defender off guard. It's almost as if he practices it. Like, it's crazy. I do think Lukaku yesterday was very, very influential as well. Like, he showed that now he's more than just goal scoring.
Small game Romelu.
I think for me, besides Nietzsche's comments and whatnot, like, Lukaku has now become a striker where he doesn't need to score for you to see his influence, if that makes sense. Like, you can see how his all-round play, but Ronaldo is a completely different type of nine. Like, his timing of runs, he's gonna finish things. He's like, it's almost as if he gets away from his marker. Like, you can't just pin yourself on Ronaldo because he will get away from you. And there's other people out, so they're different type of nines.
No, I totally agree. I think Anita was absolutely spot on. That people that generally the people that slag off Ronaldo, and it isn't just now that he's 36, 37. I remember 3 or 4 years ago when we were in Fan Park Live, when the man was still in his pomp, scoring overhead kicks and, doing a 3-peat in the Champions League. He's just a goal scorer now. And it's the proof in the pudding that people don't watch European football like they pretend to. It's the fact that they prefer Messi or they dislike him because they support a rival of Manchester United. Sometimes when it comes to Ronaldo, I wish that he'd never played for Manchester United, because I think more people would openly respect him as a football player. If you look, and Neeks is actually putting it in here, sometimes I feel like people read my mind. If you actually look at Ronaldo's heat map where he touched the ball.
Yeah.
I was looking at that on the tactic thing I was doing earlier. If you look at like where he touched the ball yesterday, like, yes, a lot of time touching the ball in the box, but look, everywhere on that field of play, there were times when I saw him, he did an overhead kick clearance from the box after a corner yesterday. Like, as Anita said, he was tracking back in times in the game. And there is, again, another one of those weird notions about Ronaldo is he's not a team player. It's just a lie. It's just a bull-faced lie that people use to try and say that these are all the little reasons why he's nowhere near Messi's level. And people buy into it because they don't want him to be. And, you know, he's sensational. And, of course, I don't know if you guys have seen Fergie's comments are suddenly trending again. Where I think years ago, Fergie was doing an interview with some professional snooker players, and he was talking about who's better out of Messi or Ronaldo. I can't show the clip because it's BBC owned, and I've been told today that BBC are actually like copyrighting people for showing it, so I'm not going to do that. And he basically said he didn't slag Messi off one little bit. He said that if you stuck Ronaldo in the Doncaster, ironically, the Doncaster Rovers team, he said, he still thinks he'd score hat-tricks, even though the supply is a lot worse because of the nature that he has, left foot, right foot, really strong in the air. So he could almost play like a traditional British centre forward in that way. And he kind of said, I don't think Messi could. He went, not that Messi isn't brilliant or brave. He went, but I think Messi's a Barcelona player, if you understand what I mean. And that's not Fergie for insult. And look, it's 3 or 4 games into his Barcelona career, so I'm not judging him. Like, I'm not judging him at all. But there's this element of Ronaldo where it's his overall ability as a footballer is so... It's slagged off so much. And we're going to see this season. We're going to see this season how Messi adapts to a new league. And we know that Ronaldo has moved to 2 new leagues twice and back to the Prem. So 3 times he's moved leagues in his like sort of adult professional career. And each time he's hit the ground running. So listen, I absolutely so impressed. So impressed with what he's done so far. I'm trying to get everybody back in order because I'm a stickler for continuity. But that's all right, no problem. But listen, viewers, do us a favor and smash that like and share. And where do you think Manchester United are going to? What do you think they're going to achieve this year? Well, I'm going to have I'm having a little flutter here, and I'm actually going to go with United to score over 95 goals. I think we're going to score a lot of goals this season as a football club. That's what I'm not betting on us winning anything because that would be not mad. But I'm just going to go with something a little more fun and go with goals here. So Man United to get more than 95 goals is at 16. Is it 16-1? And I'm going to stick a nice little. Let me remove that from the betting slip. I'm going to stick another £2.50 on that. I'm going to stick a £2.50 bet on United to score over 95 goals in the Premier League this season. £42 return there with Bet Victor. That bet is placed, that is done, that is dusted. We've got some super chats. Then we're going to go on to talk a little bit about Mo Salah, Mane, both in the 100 club, and a little bit about Harry Kane, because Harry Kane looks absolutely shot. So I want to speak about how good those 2 strikers are, why Harry Kane is not scoring. So make sure you're smashing that like button as well, people that are listening, and you subscribe to the Football Terrace. Joshua here says, KJ, why do you blame all the semi-finals and finals on Ollie? Sevilla and Chelsea FA Cup, for example, were not on him. Quick answers for him, though, please.
Yeah. The Sevilla one, I feel like he had a part to play. He should have made like subs earlier to keep the attack up. The Chelsea one, from what I can remember, yeah, it was pretty peak that day. That red card like screwed us, and Chelsea were better than us on the day. But Ollie has his part to play in the semi-final and final losses, so that's why I say.
Yeah. Some more super chats, some we missed to put up on the screen because they came through too quickly. One from Joel. Joel says, how much is Cristiano Ronaldo paying the goalkeepers? Oh, we've got that one there. KJ still had it in front of him. There we go. Nice top man. CFC Florida says, leave LFC Sonny alone. He has the absolutism of youth and promotes his club. Nice. There we go. And then finally, dogging Cristiano Ronaldo is a madness. He and Messi are both incredible and no need to try and tear one down to hold the other up. And do you know what I say to that? That for me is always my proof that I don't listen to anyone's opinion on either player if they slag the other guy off. Like legit, if they slag the other person off, for me, you've lost the argument straight away because they're the greatest 2 footballers to ever play the game. But next up, we're talking top goal scorers. We're talking Harry Kane. Why is he struggling? Mo Salah and all that jazz. Smash the like and share button. Let's do it. KJ, Harry Kane, not scoring goals, doesn't look interested. What's going on? What is going on with Harry Kane at Tottenham?
Oh, he's saying Daniel Levy's a pagan. That's what he's doing, bro, because he is pissed, fam. He still wants to get out of that club. He's looking Daniel Levy in the eyes and be like, this is what you're getting now. Like, screw you. he is just not fully there yet. And I don't think he believes in the project. I don't think he believes in Nuno. I don't think he believes in the new additions and the squad that we've got. All you can see is him, like, he believes in Son. He's cool with Son. Everyone else, you can tell he's just like why am I working with here? Like, I've got Mandem in the midfield that can't pass. I've got people in the defense that can't defend. I've got a goalkeeper who's, again, you can question him. You know what I mean? Too busy drink driving and that, you know what I'm saying? Like, he is looking at this club and it's like, where is it going? And it's going nowhere, bro. I'm telling you. Spurs, you know, Terry, you know, you made that comment about, it's the top 4 +2 now because of the Spurs and Arsenal dropping down. Bro, that was a purple patch for Spurs. This is Spurs. Spurs been doing this. This is them. So they're talking about, Spurs fans talking, we need to get back to where we was. No, you are where you were, bro. You don't need to go back nowhere. You are here. You have returned. You know what I mean? Like, and this is what it is. And Harry Kane can see that. Harry Kane, he can see it. This is the Tottenham that I joined when I was a kid, making my breakthrough. Tried to level up, and that pagan Levy didn't let him do it. So he's like, screw this, I'm done. Man is not with it. Also, just a quick ad. The England players have returned from the Euros looking sloppy, looking very sloppy. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but Harry Kane, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, Mason Mount, Sancho, and so many of Declan Rice is looking all right. Has Calvin Phillips been playing well? Like, there's so many players of the England team that went to that final, and it's just clearly drained them of their powers for some reason, and they just come back looking exhausted.
But the Italian players exhausted. I mean, Jorginho looks good. Like, I don't watch Italian football. I don't know. I mean, I suppose Juve have got their 2 cents. They're in relegation, so maybe I don't watch Italian football. Anita, do you think that's a good enough excuse for Kane? That maybe it's the European exploits, or do you think it's more Kane just? I don't know. You ever stayed in a relationship you don't really want to be in? Do you know what I mean? You're out for dinner and you can be there an hour and you realize you haven't said a word to each other. Like, literally.
What's it? I was.
Oh, you've muted your mic somehow.
We can't hear you, Nitz.
Yeah, you unplugged it or not.
Pulled your wire out. You did something. I heard it. I'm not too sure what. Why Nitz solves that problem with her connection. I'll throw it to Sonny. What do you think it is with Harry Kane? What do you think the issue is?
It can't just be Kane. Like, it is Tottenham as well. Like I said, I can't even believe I predicted Tottenham to beat Chelsea. It's not even. I don't want to go into Chelsea, but it's because Tottenham are so bad. They always go into this phase where they can start any game good against anyone in the world, but then they just go into a phase where they play so badly. So for me, Tottenham, it's Tottenham as a whole. Like, you cannot work at Tottenham and try to become successful and like winning stuff. So Kane knows he's not really going to get there. So it's obviously a motivation thing as well. And he's. I don't know if it's his mistake, but it's someone's mistake. He's still there.
I mean, yeah, you look at it. I do understand. For me, I think he didn't want to be there. I said in the summer on so many shows, especially the Done Deal shows with Dean Jones, that Levy's taking such a big risk keeping him because no matter what he does this season, scores lots or not, his valuation drops because he gets older and his contract runs down and he wants to leave. The only way it made sense is if you kept him and he got you into the Champions League. That was the only way to mitigate the loss in revenue of not selling him. 120 odd million pounds. Maybe that was inclusive of some players or whatever. They were offered for him and they said no. Right now, that honestly looks like the worst deal of the summer. Not accepting that money for Harry Kane. I mean, for us as rivals, I'm so glad he isn't like buzzing at City, scoring lots of goals, because they look a little bit toothless right now without a goal scorer. You know, Raheem Sterling's barely scored a goal in the last 7-8 months of football at club level. But he just looks a shadow of himself. He just looks an absolute shadow of himself. We've got a super chat actually here from Maria Williams, who says, no excuses for Kane, sorry, but City didn't want to put the money up. It wasn't the club's fault. He needs to sort himself out and get on with his job, is what Maria Williams believes. But what do you take on that, Danny? Do you agree that he has to sort of pull up his bootstraps and just get on with it and perform like he always does? Or do you have sympathy with the fact that he just doesn't want to be there?
No. We're not doing that sympathy card thing for him. And remember what the media told us. He's a model professional. I mean, he's a lovely husband. He's a great guy. He'd take you all out. He'd take you to dinner probably. And so he can never down tools. So clearly, he's either become a worse player. He's just become a worse player. That must be one of the reasons. Or I don't know, maybe he's a bit tired. Maybe he needs to. It might be the England thing because he's a model professional, great citizen, lovely philanthropist, great husband.
Was it OBE?
Bro, he's got no. Because I'm just saying what they told us. This is what they told us. So he has either become a worse player in that time, or he's tired. Those are my two things that I'm going to put out there.
I genuinely think we need to cut Kane a bit of slack, because when you don't want to play for a club, and it's the same thing with your normal day-to-day job, when you don't want to play for a club and you don't want to be at where you're working, you're not going to put 100% in. And it's actually a very interesting topic, and it's deeper than we actually think. And to be fair, if Kane doesn't believe in the whole system with Nuno, Kane was fine under Jose Mourinho. He was happy under Jose Mourinho, and he was vocal about that. So bringing in Nuno is I wouldn't say a complete opposite, but he's brought in a manager who hasn't necessarily won anything when he was under a manager whose mentality was to win. We don't know what Nuno's mentality is at the moment, and we don't know how that's probably affecting Harry Kane. And I have a lot of sympathy for him purely because of the fact that I know if I'm in a job that I don't, necessarily want to work in, then I'm not going to be the happiest bunny alive. I'm not going to put in 100%. And again, they just came back off losing in the Euros in a final. And KJ, you mentioned that all the English players have kind of lost their touch after coming back from that final. A final like that can really hurt someone's confidence, especially Harry Kane. He's not this superhuman that the media does paint him out to be, like Daniel rightfully said. But at the end of the day, like, he is human, and if you don't want to work somewhere and you're gonna, not put 100%. I have sympathy for the guy. He wanted to leave to Man City.
But Kane's a loser, no? He used to losing. Surely he should be able to.
But the thing is, Kane wants to change, and he's been vocal about that. He wants a change. Whether he's a loser now or he's a loser tomorrow, he wants a change.
Anita, let me put it to you. Anita, if you were working for someone and you know how good you are and valuable you are to the industry, and then you decide to sign a 6-year contract with that company, knowing that they're not the best in the market right now, and your contract's running down and you're soon going to be available, but you put your trust and your faith there, can you then turn around and there's a reason why these contracts have these terms and conditions where you can't turn around and just be like, yeah, do you know what, I want to leave now.
But my thing is, right, do we know all the caveats to every single contract? Do we know why he signed that contract? Do we know the story behind it? Like, we're as fans, we're quick to jump at it because, on paper, he signed a 6-year contract or whatever. But at the end of the day, what's in that contract? Do we know what's in that contract? Do we know why Harry Kane was apparently so angry with Levi? Why was he angry with Levi?
I mean, from the information we have, we can only base it off the fact that he signed a 6-year contract, and apparently there was a gentleman's agreement that a big club can come in and take him, and they didn't adhere to that.
And there you go.
But do you know what I would say, though, on top of that is, one, that I know people say don't do a gentleman's agreement, but at the end of the day, if it still means something. On top of that, I don't even think that's the biggest issue that Kane's got, because Poch himself said, promises weren't delivered. And I think what Harry Kane, like a lot of those players, were told when that new deal was signed 2 years ago, however it was, we're going to go on to do X, Y, and Z, and that hasn't been delivered. And the sympathy for Kane is twofold. As a human being, do I have sympathy for him? No, he's a multi-millionaire living one of the most privileged lives in the world. As a professional, I feel for him. I've been thinking about the last year. I feel for professionals because it's not like, oh my God, poor him. No, not poor him. There's a lot of people in the world that suffer. Harry Kane isn't suffering like people like where I grew up or in certain parts of the world. You get what I mean? But on a professional level, it's like, I really want to see him do well. And I know the media paints him a certain way, but I also have to be very, very consistent. I don't like how the media paints other players. At the same time, it's not their fault. It's not Harry Kane's fault they make him out to be a saint. Like the media have people on toast here. They paint 1 or 2 people out to be saints and then 1 or 2 people out to be the devil. And then they play the fans off against each other. For me, I ain't playing their game. I'm not going to hate on Harry Kane because of how they treat Raheem Sterling. That doesn't solve the problem. I'm not saying you're doing that. I know you've been a bit facetious with it, but that's where I feel sorry for Kane as well. It's like he's almost a hate target because of the way Raheem Sterling and other players are treated. And it's like, you do realize that Harry Kane and Raheem Sterling are really close friends. Like they're like, Harry Kane is not the problem in that media cycle that's going on, but something needs to happen.
The way I look at it, Terry, like if I was a Spurs fan or put myself in that situation, if a Man United player, if I felt a Man United player was down in tools, and I'm not saying he necessarily is down in tools. I haven't studied his performances this season in a way that I can say he's down in tools. We know that his performances are just not levels right now. What is that down to? I guess Spurs fans might be able to tell us a bit more, or those people who've watched it a bit more. But if a Man United player was down in tools because he wasn't allowed to leave, I would be angry with that player. Yes, I would understand, like Anita said, they don't want to be here, therefore their performance is going to drop. I understand how we got from A to B, but I'll still be fuming and angry with that player for allowing their performance to go from A to B whilst they're still getting paid. It's not like a case of, well, if you're not going to, pay as you play. What you're getting paid to play,
you gotta put yourself in a Spurs fan's shoes though. They ain't got no other options. There is Kane or bust. They don't have the options.
But at this rate,
you've got the options. If Cristiano Ronaldo wakes up one day and says he doesn't want to play, you still got the options there. Like you're fine. You guys are still gonna love Cristiano Ronaldo.
Ronaldo says tomorrow he don't want to play, Messi's the goal in it. So
get bye.
Okay, now Neeks, I'm not like you. If Ronaldo said that, and it fuels my agenda against those pagans glazers. Oh, fam, keep down in toes, my brother. Keep doing it.
I hear you on that. Viewers, we want your thoughts on Harry Kane. The odds are below, of course, brought to you by our title sponsors, Bet Victor. You can check out all their latest offers. We did have a comment actually from Cole P in the thing saying he just got boosted odds on AJ to beat Usyk at the weekend. Yeah, they cover more than just football. They've got a big page on Bet Victor that goes on about it's like boosted bets that you can put on. So go and check that out if you like a little bit of a flutter. Remember to check the T's and C's and make sure you're over 18 and always bet responsibly. But go get yourself signed up now and claim your free bet. It does also support the Football Terrace in you doing it. So if you're going to have a bet this weekend, sign up with our sponsors and use Bet Victor and not somebody else. It does help the Football Terrace continue to make these shows for you. I said in the summer that if Kane wanted to leave, Spurs needed to damage his relationship with Spurs fans or he wouldn't leave, i.e. Suarez, Sterling. I do kind of hear that. Todd here says, who wants to be a Spurs fan's shoes? Yeah, I don't want to be in a Spurs fan's shoes, to be fair. Fancy. I can imagine being in Spurs fans. You ever remember that scene from The In-Betweeners where he swapped his shoes with the homeless man? That would be being in Spurs fans' shoes. USSR had a gentleman's agreement with NATO not moving to the West. Okay, fair enough for that one, my bro. That's the maddest comment I've ever had in my life. Neeks is spot on. I have never downed tools at a job whilst being paid to do my
like your job enough.
Job. KJ has, to be fair. He asked me for a pay rise. I said no, and he didn't do any Midnight Vibe for a few weeks. It's not true. It's a joke. It's a joke. I'm making it all up. Making it all up there. I want to speak a bit about Mo Salah as well. And Mo Salah is now one of the favourites to win the Golden Boot. As you can see, 4-1 of the odds on him doing it. The biggest, by the way, if you do like a little flutter and you're still backing Kane to turn this around, if you purely think it's a slow start because of the Euros, 10-1. He was something like 2-1 at the start of the season. He is now 10-1 to be Golden Boot winner. Some people might fancy that. That's a big return. But on Mo Salah, Sonny, and Mane as a collective, where do you rank them in terms of goal-scoring partner? I know they're not both strikers, but there's been Bergkamp and Henry. There's been Andy Cole and Dwight York. There's been Chris Sutton and Alan Shearer. Where do you rank, in your opinion, these two as a goal scorer? Drogba and Lampard. Where do you rank these two in terms of the Premier League echelon of goal scoring duos?
Well, they've got to be up there. Like, I would put Salah next to Dwight McNeil. Like, it's just because Salah, like, they're up there just solely because of that. Salah for me is
wait. Dwight McNeil.
Yeah, Salah. It doesn't matter who Salah's next to. Like, Salah's there.
You mean if he was playing with Dwight McNeil, he'd still be the same Salah?
Yeah.
Oh, right, I get your point. I get your point. Sorry, I thought you were like, you think he's as good as Dwight McNeil. I was like, what?
No.
I was like, Sonny is going to get hunted down tonight by Liverpool fans.
Clip it.
No context, Terrace, quick.
Yeah.
No, but I don't like looking at Mane and Salah as like a duo. I don't like that. I think they're both individual. Things with Mane as well. I love it when everyone calls him finished, and you notice the club that they support, whoever calls him finished. Mane is always statistically better than their wingers. And if you're an attacker, stats should literally be the only thing that matters. It shouldn't be anything else. And on to Salah. The reason why Salah is one of the best players ever faced in the Premier League. Hang on. The reason why Salah is one of the best players ever is because you notice how he's always in the Golden Boot competition, but he's always created the most chances in the league. Like, he is an all-round amazing footballer, not just a goal scorer. Mane next to him is...
Hang on.
Like I said, I don't like looking at them as a duo. But...
Hang on. You just said that Ronaldo doesn't do anything other than score goals, but yet he's the highest creator in the league.
Do you really think I'm dissing Ronaldo, Terry? Do you really think I'm doing
I listen to me, Lanky. Right? You literally a minute ago were like only goals. When it comes to like Mo Salah, you're like literally most created this, most that, most the other. Like, you're shameless, bro. I'm just pointing it out. You're shameless. You're shameless.
Ronaldo's the best player in the world. How can I say anything about that?
Sonny loves Firmino, and he just said, when you're an attacker, all that should matter is your stats.
I don't love Firmino.
All right, cool.
No, you actually don't.
So back to another thing you said. So where do you rank Mo Salah Premier League wise? Because I mean, I've seen a tweet from another Liverpool fan that's gone out from Don Hussim, who says he's better than Neymar. Like, where do you rank Salah? Like right now in the world, who's better than Mo Salah in your opinion in the world?
Right now, nobody right now is better than Salah. Not one football player out there is better than him or doing better than anything he does. The most consistent player in world football right now. And you can say Messi, Ronaldo, stuff like that. Right now, they're not on his level. Like, Salah is now the new Messi, Ronaldo level.
No. Yeah. Sonny, you can't say that about Ronaldo. Scored in every single game he's flipping played for.
Ronaldo's up there too, but Salah's
guys, it's
simple as that.
Sonny, explain. I'm going to ask you this question now. Explain why Mo Salah has overtaken Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Because Messi's obviously just moved to a new league. He's done nothing yet. So Messi's obviously fallen down the pecking order a little bit. Ronaldo, for me, Salah's been doing it for longer in better leagues now for Ronaldo. Salah's not a better player than Ronaldo. But right now, Salah tops Ronaldo and tops anyone in the world in terms of who's a better player. Like I said in a different stream, if you go in the dictionary, look under the word consistent, Mohamed Salah's there. Like, he's the reason why Liverpool are in a title race this season, despite spending no money. The reason why there's a chance saying the Reds have got no money, but we're going to win the league is because of Salah. Game in, game out, he's going to score usually at least one goal. You do that in a game, you're going to win the game. Ronaldo, if he does that this season, then there's a different conversation. But this is the Premier League, the best league in the world. And Salah has absolutely owned it.
So because of 3 games into his PSG career, Messi's no longer at the top. Ronaldo is outperformed Mo Salah so far this season at 36 years old in a team that you've said is worse. You're honestly, mate, you are clutch. Hang on a minute. You are trying to get back in the good books of Liverpool fans, aren't you?
No. No. You know how much I love Salah. Salah's the best player in the world right now.
Sonny, Robert Lewandowski plays football. Like, forget Messi and Ronaldo for a second, because I'm not even going to lower myself to put them in a debate with Mo Salah. But Lewandowski hasn't stopped scoring since he started scoring, and Salah has not been as consistent as him over the last 2 years in terms of numbers, which is the most important thing for attackers, in all competitions, including, obviously, he played in the Euros. He got 3 goals with Poland. Like, Lewandowski has been doing this and is still doing it this season.
Salah does it in a better league and does it for club and country.
Lewandowski's up there as well, and in the Champions League as well.
So sorry, but Salah plays in a continent that's lower than the Europe, but Lewa does that in Europe. So
what do you want Salah to do? Change his passport?
Yeah, but we're talking about what they're doing. He's doing it.
You said where they're doing it. He's doing it in AFCON.
All I'll say
Salah's doing it in a better league. Salah's doing it in the Premier League.
All I'll say is when you turn 21, you'll look back on this and slap yourself.
Because I know what I'm saying. I don't know if you have misheard me or something. I've never once called Salah a better footballer than Ronaldo and Messi. He's a better player right now than anyone in the world, though.
So he's a better player right now than Ronaldo and Messi, is what you're saying?
Right now, yeah.
Wow. A big claim there. We've got some super chats, first of all. First one's from Brooks, says, please get a sensible Liverpool fan. I mean, in fairness, we have Husim, and he said that he's better than Neymar. Ram just talks about Maldini all the time. Safe and Conroy, of course, to be fair. This guy is embarrassing us all. Man says best in the world. Stop chatting crap.
Like I called him the GOAT. I never called him the GOAT. What? Right now, he's the best in the world, and stats prove that.
Do you know what is so mad? Like, even though like it took me by surprise, but Sonny's shout isn't that mad.
It's not, honestly.
It's actually when in hindsight on a wider scale. No. I don't agree. Personally. I don't agree. But in hindsight, on a larger scale, you can kind of understand the argument that Sonny is posing here. For me, Lewandowski is alive and well. Personally, you know, like Erling Haaland is still there too amongst them.
I don't think Salah's even the best on his team.
Hang on. No, I'm sorry, but Jordan Henderson's a bit too old now to be considered.
I'm not even talking about Jordan Henderson, but I think Van Dijk is better than Salah. Of course, you can't compare centre back and attacker, but I think when you're talking about the two of them standing, of course, it's very hard.
Yeah, are we specifying just attackers, or are we doing players as well?
I think Van Dijk is enough. Van Dijk has played enough games for me to say he's come back and he's still number one, because people were saying he was coming back to fall off on a cliff. Look, Salah's great, and to say he's top 5 in the world, I don't think is a mad shout. To say he's one of the best wingers we've seen in terms of legacy-wise, it's not a mad shout. But to say he's the best player right now, when I personally think that Van Dijk is still the best player on his own team, come on, man, let's put some.
Sonny, can I ask you another question? This will be an interesting one.
Yeah.
At no point ever did anybody say Steven Gerrard was the best player in the world, right? He never was the best player in the world.
He never was.
If Salah is the best player in the world in a Liverpool shirt, surely that makes him Liverpool's best ever Premier League player.
In terms of winning stuff, yeah. But in terms of actual technically gifted, no, because this is my point where I've seen people. No.
So you've done yourself. Do you know what you've done? You've done yourself defending Gerrard, because a minute ago you said that I'm not saying Mo Salah is technically better than Messi and Ronaldo, but he's outperforming him and he's better. Now you're saying it's not fair for Gerrard because Gerrard was technically better than Mo Salah was. So is it about technical ability or is it about performance?
You said for Liverpool, Gerrard done it for how many years? Salah's been here for about 4 or 5. That's my argument. But
you're putting Salah as the best player in the world. For me, if at your club and we're not talking about like major differences. If the reason most Man United fans will say, when they're being honest, the best player to play for Man United in the last 50 years is Cristiano Ronaldo, is because it is Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, you can't debate that he is the best player we've had. Because he won the Ballon d'Or 5 times. Like, it's ridiculous. There isn't an argument for any other player. Now, Man United's best player, maybe, but if Mo Salah's the best player in the world, he becomes your best player in the Premier because you've never had anybody else that you've claimed is the best in the world.
No, but I still don't think that Salah's a better footballer than Gerrard.
Okay,
arguments of.
I'm confused.
I feel like all the caveats are changing, and it's just going to get confusing.
I did it on purpose. To be fair, I love always throwing it in because I love seeing Liverpool fans defend Gerrard. They would defend Gerrard with their kids, bruv. Honestly, throw the kids in the road. Like, take the kids, but not Gerrard's crown. Take my kids, take my eyes, but not Gerrard's crown. Honestly, they defend that guy. Honestly, if Ned Stark had the protection that Gerrard gets, he wouldn't have died in season 1, bro. Like, he'd have been there in the last. He
would be king of the north. No,
he'll be king of the north. He'll be king of all the 7 kingdoms.
Bro, he'd have killed that motherfucking dragon by himself. He had that protection, bro. He'd have been fine. Sorry if I'm spoiler alert for anyone that never watched it. Spoiler alert. That actually hurt me in season 1 because I was behind everyone else. I started watching that show when there was 3 episodes left of the final season, and I was like, I like a bit of Sean Penn. And then his head got chopped, and the whole way I was like, he's gonna get saved. They're not killing the main character season 1. They did. Great. I was hooked. I then watched because I was out of work at that point. I say out of work. in between jobs, and I literally watched the next 3 seasons in 2 days. Like I literally didn't sleep. I was like, I was on it. I speak for all Liverpool fans when I say that Sonny needs to be gagged. Salah is superb, but not the best, is what's being said here. There's some loads more here. Your headset is too tight, mate. Terry out here setting Sonny up with these questions, and he didn't even know. Listen, I always, when it comes to best players and best things, Daniel will tell you I've done it about 3 times in the last week. I listen to the logic and I accept it, and I just wait for people to contradict it in the next sentence, next day, next week. Sonny is the Alex of LFC. He don't know what he is talking about. I want to make sure I didn't miss any. TJ said Salah better than Messi and Ronaldo. That boy needs Jesus.
And that's how you can't look at it, because I never said he's a better footballer than Messi or Ronaldo, because he's simply not.
CFC Florida says love LFC Sonny's takes. He is so definitive in his takes. C says somebody pull Sideshow Bob's mic out. Young bra out here twerking for these bad takes is what he said. What he's got. Sideshow. But you are a little bit. You are like a young Sideshow Bob.
Like him. You're lanky.
Yeah,
like
true. Yeah, that's gonna be your nickname, Sideshow Bob. I like that. That is true. You because you had skinny jeans on the other day. You are tall, but honestly,
skinny jeans.
Nah, bruv, your legs could give someone paper cuts, bruv. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Skinny. I ain't got skinny legs. Wait till next time I wear shorts.
Bruv, you look like, honestly, bruv, you look like a daddy long legs, like legit. Like, listen, we're gonna move on to we were gonna talk about looking at top goal scorers here. Like, how much? I'm gonna put this to you saying, how much do you back Mo Salah to finish in front of Lukaku and the like this year to be top goal scorer in the Prem? How much do you back him? Really?
You're asking me?
Yeah, that's your name, Sonny.
Yeah. So take Lukaku's name out. He ain't getting the golden boot. It's between Salah or Ronaldo, and Salah's going to win it this season because Salah gets the most chances out of any player in the league this season, and he's became the most clinical now. It's easily Salah. Easily. He's going to have his best season Liverpool shirt this season.
Why are you so sure that it can't be Lukaku?
Lukaku doesn't get enough creative chances to him. Lukaku doesn't create his own chances. He doesn't get the chances from behind him. Chelsea's midfield lacked creativity. As Chelsea fans will admit, Lukaku ain't going to win the golden boot with that behind him.
Man. Look, to be fair,
Chelsea lack creativity.
To be fair, I've disagreed. To be fair, it's a big argument in the Chelsea ranks whether or not we're a creative side or not. And I even said on the last, I think, Bet Victor stream, I said Lukaku won't win the golden boot, but he will win player of the season.
Zaza here says, sorry, but like you don't love football, Mr. Carrot. Only defending your club players till the end with no clear argument. Big up the panel, except you. Zaza then says, why do you never read I do read your super chats, my bro, and I say your name. But there we go. Read them both out for you, sir. Damien here says, I'm curious, are Sonny and Igal related? Delusion seems to run in their blood. I'm going to back you though, Sonny, in the sense of I'm going to put your bet on. I'm going to pick Mo Salah. How much money do you want me to put on him right now? How much?
I'd put. Well, what are the odds?
4-1.
Oh, 4-1. I'd put a minimum 5 on that.
All right, I'm going to put 5 on him doing it.
Sonny, you clearly don't think he's the best player in the world. Just saying.
No, I'd say minimum 5. You don't want to know the maximum.
No.
There shouldn't be a maximum if he's the best in the world.
However much money Terry's got.
In that, how much money have I got? Well, we're not bringing out that. Me and Daniel had that flex once when we were both asking Anita out. I won. It was a joke as well. It wasn't real.
They both lost. Anita rejected them both.
Yeah, she did. She looked at me. She said, "I don't want your money, Terry." I was like, "Oh, damn. That's all I got. That's all I got for a queen like Anita's money, and that wasn't enough." So, do you know what I mean? That's all we had there. She's like, "No." Terry, you need to get Sonny and Alex together on the football terrace and Nick Sports. Will you be covering the 2020 World Cup?
Yeah, 100% 2020 World Cup. 100%.
Oh, cricket. I was like, 2020's gone. What are you talking about?
Cricket.
Yeah, you watched that. How Sonny says this stuff with a straight face is the most impressive thing to me.
I mean
He does mean it. That's a problem. Salah will win the Golden Boot and somehow not even get into the team of the season.
He will. He will on FIFA. Will get his 98 rated card. I mean, everyone will try and get it. That's
that's what will happen. Before we go, we're gonna have a little. We are gonna do some big previews later on in the week. Remember, Friday night on the Terrace is gonna be the biggest week yet. Sound engineer coming in tomorrow to get the sync done, and we've got Chelsea, City, Spurs and Arsenal fans all in that studio together. So far, I've had 37 requests for people I've actually got to say no to people this week. Everybody wants to come in and get involved. I think the latest show is the best we've done so far. So it's going to be a massive show. But I want to have a look ahead at the North London derby, or as what we're dubbing it on the Football Terrace, Battle of the Frauds. So paying homage here, the Battle of the Frauds. Next manager to be sacked odds are up on the screen. I'll put Ollie in there just to give it some context of where he is at the minute, 33-1. Which I think is really interesting. Nuno's still 25-1, but I'm actually hearing more Nuno out at the moment than I'm hearing Arteta out, which is a madness to me. I want to ask you, Anita, do you feel like Spurs fans are being too reactionary with wanting Nuno gone already when they're only 5 games into the season?
Oh my God, right. So I was watching the Friday night on Terrace, yeah. And I was just looking at them like, yo, like, give him a couple more games, bro. Like, they're so reactionary, aren't they? And I personally don't understand why, you'd want Nuno gone at this early age, at this early time of the season. The season's just begun. Give him a couple more games. At the end of the day, he's inherited a brand new team. He's got to get a hang of these new players as well. And I feel like these Spurs fans that want him gone are kind of not appreciating the fact that when any manager comes into a new team, if it's not a Antonio Conte or it's not a Jose Mourinho or a Sir Alex Ferguson, like, they're not gonna get the players to click just like that under the new system that they're trying to impose. You have to give them time. You've got to give any player or any manager time whenever they come to a new club. So it's extremely reactionary. And I was hearing things like Graham Potter, like, get him into the club and stuff like that. I'm just like, yo, take what you can get, bro. Like, it's not like managers were there trying to lining up to come. Managers weren't lining up to come. There was no after no after no. So literally take what you have, give him some time, and come, mid-season, end of the season, if you're still not happy, then okay, let's get him out the door. I understand. But at the end of the day, baby, take what you have. Take what you have, work with it. Honey, please. It was really weird.
Do you know what's crazy? Go on, Nick. Go on.
I was gonna say, Terry and I don't know, Daniel Levy is probably the only people that believe in Nuno. That's the problem right now.
I'm biased, so I always say with Nuno, the man did my life and career such a massive turn. I'm always going to back him, always. But yeah,
I think I don't advocate any manager getting sacked at this stage of the season. Granted, yes, the football's not great. They don't look like they're creating many chances. He has won 3 games. Like, they're on 9 points. To sack a manager now, who are you bringing in? If Antonio Conte rang tomorrow and said, guys, you know what, I'll accept what you propose in the summer, then maybe you get rid. But it's still harsh and early to get him out now. But I understand. I don't think he's that great a manager. He's good. And for where Spurs want to be, you're trying to keep Kane, or the club are trying to keep Kane. Son has just signed a new contract. You've got Ndombele, who's what, £60 million midfielder you spent. 40-odd million you spent on Romero. Like, you're trying to get back into Champions League. Is he good enough to do that with this squad? Are there better managers available who can do that with this squad? Obviously, in the summer, it proved that there wasn't better managers available who actually wanted to come to Spurs. So you kind of stuck with him. But I kind of get why Spurs fans are upset because where they're going with him. I can't see what, 6th at best, maybe. I don't know.
They're going straight. They're going straight to Wolves and buying a Adama Traore.
But I suppose 2 things come into mind here. I honestly think the Big Six is over. The Big Six as a concept right now is over. There's a Big Four, and then there's maybe another 4 or 5 under. There's a middle 4, and then there's everybody else. So I don't think they can have Graham Potter. They can have you can give them Julian Nagelsmann with Chelsea. I don't think they're getting in front of the Big Four. The proper Big Four is right now because of just money, quality of those squads. as an example, but they might play pretty football. Maybe that's what Spurs, Spurs might just go back to being the Spurs that I grew up listening to, where we just want to play pretty football and we don't really care about winning trophies. Maybe that's the mantra here. But there is an element of it being people being ungrateful. And I'm going to tell a story that's probably going to get me cancelled, but I don't care because it reminds me of it. I used to do, when I worked at Barclays, we used to do a year, you did that 3 days of volunteering at different things. And one year we used to do this volunteering at a homeless shelter. It was at a church near sort of Liverpool Street. And I was there, and basically we made sandwiches and made food, basically toasties for like homeless people. And I remember this guy queued up, and I made him a toasty and I gave it to him, and I saw him sat down, let it cool down a bit, and he took a bite into it, and he moaned, and he walked up and he slammed it in front of me and said, "Too much cheese, make it again, please." And I was like, I don't know why. I didn't want to be rude, but I'm like, you have no food, you're starving, and you're still complaining. I didn't understand it. I was a bit like, I just felt like really offended. I was like, bro, but it's free. Like, I didn't put too much cheese in it. He just, he goes, and then I put less cheese, and then he moaned a second time and said, "Not enough cheese, make it again." And I was like, bro, this is free food. That's how I kind of feel like Spurs fans are being right now. It's like, you're Spurs. You're Spurs. To win your first 3 games and to lose your next 2, that's Spurs. I don't mean it horribly. It's Spurs.
They're back to where they belong. This is them. This is where they belong. This whole top 4 business is a myth. It's a fugazi. It was never real. It was all a dream.
No, KJ, you can't say that. They were top 4 fighting for top 4 for over a decade. So this is what most of Spurs fans are used to. So I don't agree with saying, like they're where they should be. They're not where they should be, and they should be wanting more. If we're being honest, they should be wanting more, but they should also take what they're given, because at the end of the day,
like you can still fight for top 4 and start the season the way that they have. It's not impossible.
That's the problem. And that's where I'm just looking at them like, how can you be that ungrateful that Nuno's come to the club and you're already wanting him out after the better part of 5-6 games? It doesn't make sense to me. And the only way it makes sense to me is for fans who never wanted him in the first place. I understand it, but you've got him now because, again, people weren't lining up.
I think some people's nailed their. What did people nail? They nailed something.
Flag to the mast.
Yeah, that's the one. Flag to the mast. Yeah, that one. No, flag to the mast. They nailed it.
Nailed on their head.
No.
They nailed their mask on their face.
Yeah, on their head.
The flag to the mast. They nailed it.
Anita's let the dog out the bag now.
With Jose Mourinho. And if you were Jose out and staunch Jose out, you can't be seen to back Nuno, because he's Jose light. Like, people said he's Jose 2.0. He's actually Jose minus 2.0, because he's not the reincarnation of Jose. He's the, I don't know, he's the other direction. No, it's in terms of negative football, counter-attacking football. So it's like, if I'm Jose out because of that reason, I can't be seen back in Nuno, because then I get called out for being a hypocrite for wanting Jose out. That's how I feel about
Spurs played positive football against Chelsea, right? And I'm not gonna cap people. I don't even want anyone to try and tell me say that in the second half they came out and played negative. No, they tried to play positive. They got slapped 3-0, and it could have been 6, 7, 8. Maybe positive football isn't for you guys anymore.
Let me even come out. It's sometimes even I find it a bit disrespectful, and I'm being like frank with it. I find it disrespectful when fans come out and lie to us, because for me, I said it to my boy who's a Tottenham fan. The idea that their culture and their DNA is attacking a brand, that's not true. A manager came in and he brought in a culture that he himself implemented. But let's not move as if Pochettino is Tottenham. Tottenham, throughout my time watching them in the Premier League, haven't been this free-for-all, great attacking brand of football.
No, Daniel. I'm going to have to disagree with you. When Spurs were finishing mid-table, they were playing attacking football.
Even the days, bro, I'm even going back to the days of like Nico Kranjčar, the Pavlyuchenkos of this world, like when Harry Redknapp.
But before
Harry Redknapp, Juan de Ramos, what's his name, Tim Sherwood. I wouldn't call it attacking brand of football. I wouldn't say that.
Was kind of attacking.
All right, Tim Sherwood was
let me tell you where the hole is. Why Pochettino is seen in a greater light is because with the football that he was playing, they were more successful. When you start winning and your football also looks good, exactly, and you start to believe that this is the way that we play or have played. Why? Okay, if they were playing such attacking great football back then, why weren't they winning back then? And don't tell me it's because they have better players.
Do you know what I think? I think there's I think there's a mixture. I remember having this argument with a few West Ham fans I used to work with, and they were just like, "Oh, we're renowned for our attacking football," and it's like, well, no, like Ajax are renowned for a brand of football. Do you get what I mean? Like, I think sometimes fans over elevate the quality of their attacking football, but at the same time, I just feel like I understand they want to play an exciting brand. I think more so. Me and KJ were talking about this a few weeks ago privately. Like, I think fans now, because social media makes puts your personal preferences out there for everybody to see. Everybody wants to have the thing that's most in vogue, most fashionable. Basically, football fans are big. It's like how your club plays football is like Instagram. It doesn't matter how your life really is. It's how it looks. To get what I mean? It's like some people would rather come eighth and play. They say they'd rather come eighth and play beautiful football than come fifth or even fourth and play less attractive football, if that makes sense. And I don't necessarily believe him in the heart of heart, but there seems to be some moral standing in playing the more attractive. Like, I look at Chelsea as an example. I don't think you play boring football. I don't think you play horrible football. Is it the most exciting I've ever seen? No, it isn't. But it impresses me more than the most exciting football I've ever seen because it wins you games. Jurgen Klopp's first style at Liverpool, the first 2 and a bit years, was one of the most exciting styles I've seen. But he dropped more points from winning positions in that time period than any other professional football club in Europe. So why the hell would you want that? Like, it doesn't make for me, it's about fans being a bit more balanced. And like I said, I gave the example earlier about being ungrateful. It's almost like I'm saying ungrateful because you were turned down by everybody. By the way, you wanted Antonio Conte that would just be playing like the likes of Nuno would, but he is just better. He is like Jose at his pomp. So you still wouldn't be playing the attractive football, but then you wouldn't be moaning if you were top of the league. You know, so I just sort of feel like, do people really care about how attractive it is? Or is it, I don't mind unattractive football if the manager with it is fashionable? For me, it's Instagram.
It's one or the other. It's
Instagram. It's fake.
It's win, but if you're not winning, then it has to be attractive. You can't, for a lot of fans, you can't play bad football and lose. Bad football is only acceptable, or I'm not saying bad, because I don't think Chelsea played bad football, but what's perceived as negative football or a bit more conservative football is only acceptable but when you're winning. And for me, I look at a process. I'm not saying this, I'm not saying correct, I'm saying that's how people view it. I look at a process. Nuno might be trying to implement something that can then develop into winning later. But I think, I said, a lot of Spurs fans have kind of written what they want. We don't want negative football. And they got rid of Jose. So you can't back Nuno.
That's my problem, though. Why has there been such a thing, where now we are no longer appreciative of good football? Like, why is there positive and just because you play a counter-attacking style, you're then perceived to be a negative manager? I really don't think that's true. Maybe it is because I'm a Chelsea fan and we've won titles in a way where we prioritize defenses first rather than prioritizing our attack. But I just think that when we're talking about, to be fair, it comes down to players as well. When we're even coming down to players and comparing efficiency to entertainment, where you look at maybe the stats of a Zidane and look at the stats of someone else, and then people are saying, because one was more entertaining than the other, it puts them over, if that makes sense. So I see it with players, and people are doing it with teams. I think there's a bit more nuance to teams where there's tactical approaches and that, but I just think it's just a poor or a weak argument.
It's what's in vogue. Artem here says most of the Spurs fans didn't care last year how negative the football was when they were in first place. Only started to care when they started to lose. Simpy says here, I think Maurizio gave them a little hope, and that just lost their momentum. They have never been that great, but they are up there. Hashtag bridesmaids. Maria Williams says, I just want to win. I don't care. Give a damn how we do it. I think Tottenham fans need to be more realistic. Too soon to judge Nuno yet. CFC Florida also said, we missed this one, but he said fans are too busy reveling in their world-beating 1-0 victories over Norwich and Burnley to worry about Arteta out.
Yeah.
Barkley Lukaku needs to return. Barkley to Lukaku needs to return. Drop Mason Mount.
It doesn't need to return, my darling.
As of now, Salah ain't even outperformed Antonio, is what Stuart here says. Stuart said that, just a little shot there. But listen, we're going to touch more later on in the week. In terms of odds there on who's the next manager to be sacked, though, does anyone fancy a little flutter on Nuno being the next manager at 25-1?
Hell no, bro. This Daniel Levy you're talking about, you be wasting money. My man's tight, bro. He ain't spending money on a manager to just sack him in a few months' time. He ain't doing that. He ain't got the peas for that. Yeah. It's going to be, we all know it's going to be Arteta. That's why it's 2-1. Yes. Out of the three there, it will be Arteta.
Listen, I think if someone loses this North London derby in, let's say, a 3-0 or something like that, I think they could go. And so if Nuno loses 3-0 to Arsenal, I could see him being sacked. I could see it.
With the Neeks. It takes money. Daniel Levy don't like spending a dime, bro.
Levy didn't even want him in the first place. Like, he just hired him.
My question to you, my question to you is, you're Levy, right? You've gone through a summer of begging different managers. Do you think he has energy to go and beg some more managers and it get out in the press and have bad press?
But that's Paratici's role. He should be already looking up new managers.
Yeah, but that man does numbers game. He'll be talking to about 12 managers. He's getting out in the press. Yeah. Do you know what's interesting though, right? If I'm going to put a bet on this, I think Nuno's a good bet because he's 25-1. But if it's the case, what you're saying, say he loses the North London derby badly and then loses 2 more on the bounce, his odds will get slashed. They'll drop to 10, something like that. It might be worth a bet now because if it keeps going wrong, you're not going to get those good odds. But I tell you who I wouldn't mind sticking a few quid on that I might do now. He's currently 66-1 to lose his job. But Brendan Rodgers.
Oh.
I'm here. You know what? I'm here for it.
I'd put a 5 on that.
That's a cheeky one still.
Yeah, I'd put a 5 on that.
Like when I look, I have to fully admit, I saw lots of people in the comments say it, so I stole their idea. No plagiarism by me. But I'm thinking, they started badly, and I don't want to bet on Arteta because it's an obvious one. But I feel like Arteta is going to do all of us a favour and win a few more games and save himself, but never really save Arsenal. I'm looking at now 66-1. Imagine that there. I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to stick a little £5 bet on it, just £5. What? £5 bet at 66. You go on. Brendan Rodgers.
Is there a bet? Yeah, I know it's impossible, but is there a bet? Yeah, where it's Rodgers to get sacked this season and then Oli gets sacked at the end of the season and Brendan Rodgers becomes Man United manager to start next season.
You know what? I will put that to Bet Victor and see if they'll do it as a football text. We've got a few that we're going to get a few. This for Thursday's show. We're going to get. By the way, we're being joined this Thursday by James Redman. Of course, you know him from Cop TV and Redmen TV. He'll be on the show. We may have a very special guest as well. We're just waiting for confirmation on that. I cannot reveal who that's going to be, but it'll be a big show if he's here. But we're going to get a few specials made, so bets that you can only get via the Football Terrace on Bet Victor. But that could be quite a good one.
Tuchel will get sacked before Oli.
That'd be a great one.
I don't think it's wild. Wait, I don't think it's wild.
You love Chelsea. You absolutely love Chelsea.
No. Neeks is right. No, Neeks has got a point. Listen. Let's not act like Chelsea ain't the most ruthless club in the flipping world. If I'm not saying he will. I'm not saying this because he will, because I don't think he will. But say if Tuchel goes on a bad run, say he misses out on the Champions League, misses out on the Premier League, and it's not looking good for whatever reason, you will sack him. Sack him. And Oli,
as long as we get top four,
Oli could be down in the pits, bro. And as long as he gets top 4, them man are keeping him forever.
Yeah, the thing is, we all already know this. So why do you bring it up?
But it's a logical bet. It's one of those. I'm going to ask BV if they'll put that on as well because that's a logical bet. Not Ollie's better than Tuchel, but just you man could come second by 5 points and you sack your manager. We could come fourth.
Done before.
Yeah, exactly. We can come fourth. Exactly. We can come fourth and be 40 points off the top, and we'll keep him. So it ain't a bad shout. We've got some more super chats here. Sonny, is Firmino dead food now? You have Jota to play a similar role. What is your contingency plan for goals when Mane and Salah go to AFCON in Jan?
I'm hoping Firmino comes back and does something because even Jota's dead food right now. So it's not a good position, but I think we'll sort it out.
Comment here via Amazon Prime Video Sport. It says every season since Mo Salah joined Liverpool, he has outperformed Neymar in combined goals and assists. So do you know what I love? Like, I swear when I spoke to Hussein before, he was like, eye test. And now it's stats. This is what I love for me. Terry Flewers, I'm a lot of things. I'm a bit of a bastard sometimes. I know I am. But I stand by what I say. Stats, consistency, trophies, and records. That's what you go by when it comes to players.
You must love Salah then.
But you know what I've said about Salah. So you know what I've said about him. Best player in the Premier the last 5 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So you're Lampard over Gerrard then, innit, Sonny?
Yeah.
Again?
So you're Lampard over Gerrard.
Lampard over Gerrard, innit? Because stats, consistency, records, and...
No, every time I've talked about stats, I said if it's an attacker, it's stats.
Caveats. Always. Caveat FC. Why would they sack when both clubs are where they probably deserve to be on the table, on track to fight for Europa and Conference League places? Well, but that's also going to be a telling sign as well, you know, whether the clubs have just decided we're never going to be able to compete with the big boys while they're spending like that. We're just happy to sit in this little middle of the road area. Terry doesn't talk about Sancho anymore. He started slow. Listen. No one's
marinating. He's marinating. Don't worry about that.
He's fine, bruv. He's just getting ready.
Let me help out Terrence. He's the most creative teenager in
history.
World football.
Is he not?
Yes.
He still is.
He's cooking.
Listen, if you cook chicken really slowly, it's tender and juicy. Obviously, there's seasoning. White people, seasoning on chicken, please. Even on Sunday roast chicken, you still season that with some stuff, bruv. Like, seriously, right? Stuff it full of things, everything. Food, stuff it with. Simpy here says, I don't think Arteta will be sacked. Edu and the gang are so sure they have a good manager. He even believes the kids will save the club. No amount of protest will change things. I actually think Klopp will get sacked.
What did he say? Sonny, you agree?
Hang on. Why did we get a Klopp?
He's ruined his legacy.
Sonny, you see your face? You see your face in your mind? That's how you feel when you speak. Just a little bit.
No, I thought it was about Arteta, and then I just see the last bit saying Klopp will get sacked. I have no idea where that came from.
People, thank you everyone who's tuned in today. An amazing show. Thank you for all the donations. Please do us a big favor. If you want to get your account and your free bet via BetVictor, there's a link in our description below and in the live comment sections right now. Please go and sign up for us. It will keep this show alive. For the next few weeks, especially, we'll be doing it at least 2 times a week. We've got some really big guests lined up for you, but the big guests require us to have a sponsor. I'm going to be very open about this. So get yourself signed up. If you do like to have a bit of a responsible gamble every now and then, use BetVictor, who are our partners moving forward. But until next time, everybody, take care of yourselves. Goodbye. God bless. Smash the like and